Hello, everybody. It is Murph16 from server 962. Today, I just want to talk about the zombie invasion event. This is just a recurring event. Happens pretty periodically. I honestly don't know the direct rotation of how often it comes, but maybe someone down in the comments can drop the actual cadence. But you will know that it's the zombie invasion event because when you start looking at your map, you will start to see these little orange, little gold guys here. They're always level 10. And you can just march over to them, beat them up. Once you beat them up, it does use stamina, of course. You get these little invading zombies medals and a bunch of cool little mats and rewards. It's pretty nice, actually. So there's like the little zombies themselves, and there's also the bosses. But before we kind of hop into that, let's just kind of go through this little event tab because I feel like this is missed a lot. Because there's a nice little store here actually that you can actually buy some pretty nice things in. So the whole premise of this, guys, is that you really just want to go out and start searching for these little orange tasks right here. You can see all my alliance members are doing them right now. You just literally can just send your dudes out, have them go march it. You have a bunch of stamina. Like if I had a bunch of stamina right now, I would literally go out here and just claim all of these little orange guys. You don't have to. You don't have to wait for your troops to march back to the base. You can just continue to chain them all together, which is very nice. So that you can get pretty far into the map because obviously the ones closest to your hives are going to be probably a little empty, but they do refresh with new little invading zombies every so often. Now, when you knock out a bunch of these little clusters, usually they're like in little clusters of 3, randomly, you can get lucky and you can actually get it to where it drops a boss instead. Let's see if I can find one. It looks just kind of like this big red one here, but it's a big orange one. Let me see here. You can actually also go to the events tab. You see there's a level 25 boss right here, and you get you a lot more rewards. So I'll go ahead and just start a rally for that. So on and so forth, guys. I mean, depending on your strength and you rally these bosses, you can kind of go out and pretty much destroy most of these zombie guys and the bosses up until around level 40. I think level 50 is probably when they start getting pretty hard. But what happens is if after you do these for 30 minutes or an hour, you're going to start acquiring every time you loot one of these guys, get your little chest for them. You're going to start acquiring a bunch of these courage medals, right? So you can find these courage medals here in your special inventory. So right now I have 332. I've spent a lot of mine already. But there's some pretty, it's not the best store in the world, but for everything being pretty free, it's a pretty awesome store considering the only thing you have to really spend is stamina and some troops if you're a little bit lower level. But these little low level bosses right here, like going for a level 5, there's not a ton of rewards here. But what you really want to do is you want to discover these zombies. That's the big thing. So what I would recommend is if you just kind of fill up your stamina, use some stamina, have a bunch left, and then just go out there and just start knocking out all of these little orange guys. And once you do, you'll see in the event tab for zombie invasion, you'll see like alliance findings. You can also see my findings. Let's see if I can knock a couple of these out here to kind of show you what that looks like. I'll kind of go back down here. So like in these big clusters, like I'm looking at down here right now, these are what you really want to look for, where there's like a bunch in one area. And whenever you clear enough of those, then a zombie boss will appear, and it will tell you after you defeated them, it'll pop up on your screen like, oh, level 20 boss has appeared. The higher the level, obviously, the better the rewards. But the good thing is, if you look right here, if you see where it says discover rewards, you can get 200 medals there. But if you also start the rally on that same boss, you'd actually get 280. You get some of your stamina back, so it's actually a free rally for you, and then you get all these mats and XP and drone XP as well. And then the best part is you can come back into the event, go to this trade store. It's the only place that you can access it is inside this tab. Go to the trade store, and there's some pretty decent things in here that I like to buy. First things first, of course, it's going to be, the drone parts are always nice. They are a little expensive in here. Things I think you should for sure buy are all of the the level 3 drone component chests, because those are kind of rare and they're nice for days like today where drone component chests are part of the VS. And then besides that, I think really the best value is going to be the speed ups. It's pretty awesome, and there's only 4 medals for a 5-minute speed up for construction or research. I mean, that stuff can go a long way, especially on your VS days if you're trying to do that. For me, I mean, I have a plentiful of resources, so I would never be buying these these resources here. I'm pretty much never going to buy the legendary recruitment tickets. What I always focus on is buying the drone chest. If I'm close to and I need some drone parts, I'll buy the drone components, but they are a little pricey here. But of course, people on the higher levels understand how much you need them for your actual drone to upgrade them. And then I for sure always buy the stamina, because you can never have too much stamina, especially if you fight and war a lot. So that's really all that I would buy in here, guys. And like I said, you just kind of go back out here and just continue to chain these guys together, and one of the bosses will appear. And then you get whether you kill it or not, whether you're part of the group that kills it, just for you discovering it, you get those that loot for the discover bonus, which is super nice. And that's what one of my buddies, Hulk and High Colonic, they always go out there and they're just searching for them. I feel like they can never get the bosses to appear, and then randomly someone will go out there and attack 3 of the little invading zombies, and they'll have like 3 or 4 bosses appear. But it's just very important that whenever this event's going on, look at this alliance finding. If you see any lower level zombie bosses, just start the freaking rally and just get her out there going, because it's so nice. So you can see right here, the next wave of invading zombies comes in about 45 minutes. That's when all of those little hives that I've just cleared out have kind of replenished per se. These are kind of some of the rewards that you can get from just level 5 up to level 75, and then once you get up to the higher levels, which is going to be harder for some people, the zombie bosses from level 80 to 100 actually can get you up to 1,000 courage medals. Most cases, you're probably not going to get 1,000, but you can get 50, 100, 1,000. You can get some 15-minute speed ups, which I have never seen before, except for in this boxes. And then of course you can get a bunch of just the other speed ups as well. But who doesn't love speed ups, my friends? And then of course there's some leaderboards, but for most people, it's the whales that are going to be able to win those actual rewards there. But don't miss out on these trade stores though, guys. And if you ever forget, and if you probably collect a lot of these and you've never been in this trade store, I bet you have a bunch of medals just sitting there. So just check inside your inventory, see how many courage medals that you have, and once you get that certain amount, go into the store. I'm actually going to go ahead and buy that last drone component chest, and I'm actually going to go. I'm trying to speed up some research, so I'm going to go ahead and buy the rest of these that I can with the research guys. I'm going to speed up some of my research here. Got a free 3.5 hours right there. And then it is also drone component chest day, so I'm going to open that bad boy. I'm almost to my 9th chest. And now I'm going to double check or see. I'm going to upgrade all those things. All the things, guys. But just wanted to